All right. How hard is it having the career that you've had?
It's a grind. I can't really complain because we are traveling the world playing beach volleyball, but we're not making the money that, these other professional athletes are making. So we go around and playing because we love the sport. And, I've been fortunate enough to have some really great partnerships with some great companies that support me and keep me going, especially in times like this when, we're not competing, we're not making any money from tournaments. So it's really important to have those partnerships, and I've been really lucky throughout the years to have their support. But it's a grind. I mean, you make money at tournaments. That's pretty much it. If you go to a tournament and you get last place, you might make, $1,000 or something, and, you flew halfway across the world to get there. So, it's a lot of traveling. It's a lot on your body. It's a toll. I think I flew almost 200,000 miles last year. Just chasing this ball around the world, trying to make my dreams come true. Yeah.
Brooke, I was just kind of looking. I know that there was I don't know what there is in this area, but I thought I remember when I first moved here, there being a pretty big beach volleyball event in Southwest Florida. Do you think we have the market for it? I mean, come on. I mean, we saw the pictures the day before they closed the beaches. There was only a few 100,000 people in front of the Lani Kai. It certainly seems that, we have the sand sculpting and we get all kinds of people. Do you think this market is this something you would long for, is to have a big beach volleyball tournament in Southwest Florida? Do you think we would support it?
Absolutely. I think the beach volleyball community is only growing here. It's really neat to see. And, back in the day, AVP used to come here every year to Fort Myers Beach, and it was one of the players' favorite stops. I think we could do that again. AVP was coming to Florida just in the last few years up to St. Pete, but, where Florida just hasn't been on the list the last few years. So I'd love to get them back here in Fort Myers, and even a big tournament. Like over in Fort Lauderdale, we've had the international tournament over there, and that's a great event, a really good turnout. But I would love to get it over here in Southwest Florida. It'd be great for our community.
What was Rio like for you? You partnered with Lauren Fendrick. I know you didn't have the team success that you wanted, but what was it like being an Olympian?
Yeah, like you said, we didn't have the success we wanted. It was devastating and heartbreaking. But, at the end of the day, we did the hard stuff, which was the qualifying, and especially playing with a bum shoulder for a year and a half and still qualifying was really special to us. And I think the moment that, it all kind of hit was when we walked in the opening ceremony. It's an all-day event. It's dragged out. You have to be ready, so early in the morning, and it doesn't happen until nighttime. But once you walk in that arena and you're surrounded by all the best athletes in the world, it just kind of hits you like, holy cow, like, I'm an Olympian. I'm a U.S. Olympian, which I think is even more special. So, I can look back now and appreciate what we did and appreciate being an Olympian rather than looking back on the heartache of it all.
How long did it take you to make that transition? Because the first thing you mentioned is that we didn't compete as well as we would have liked to. So how long after the Rio Games did it finally hit you that, maybe we didn't perform as well as we wanted, but this experience is something I'll take with me forever?
It definitely took a while. I'd say in the last year or so, I finally started shifting that perspective. But I think it was when I teamed up with Carrie and realized I have another shot at it. And, it wasn't all over for me. So now it's used as like motivation for this next run, now for 2021. So, yeah, the perspective has changed, but it definitely took a few years for that to happen.
We're talking with Brooke Sweat, Olympian, beach volleyball player, who teams with Carrie Walsh-Jennings. They're one of the best teams in the world. It's her 34th birthday today, so happy birthday. Do you think that, and I know that they will always be called the 2020 Games, but do you think that 2021 is your last Olympics, or do you think that since it now will only be 3 years later, after you compete in this Olympics? I mean, it's a long time, I know. But are you looking at the next year as, this is probably the end of my Olympic career?
Yeah, I think even though it is only 3 years till 2024, I think it'll be my last one. I'm kind of itching to get home, and I don't think I can push for another Olympics while I'm here. I kind of want to start a family, and don't want to be traveling all over the world while I have, kids at home or kids with me on the road. So, but we'll see. I thought I was done after 2016, and here we are 4 years later in the same boat. So we'll definitely see what happens, but not likely.
You mentioned you travel over the world for this. When in your head, now with the Olympics gone, do you think the next time you're going to compete is?
It's a really good question. Things are changing daily with our international schedule, but I don't think we'll have any official decision until the IOC announces when the Olympics will actually be. But I'm hopeful that we could have some events maybe the end of this year, October or November. That's usually when the season for the next year. So 2021 season actually starts in October or November. So hopefully we can get a few events in this year, but if not, it's completely understandable, and we'll just have to prepare on our own.
So what are you and Carrie doing? I mean, you chilling out? When is it that if you're not going to compete again until October, when is it that you two need to get together and start practicing again?
Yeah, so I'm home in Florida right now. I'm lucky enough that we have a volleyball court in our yard and a home gym in our barn that I can work out in. So I'm, working out, but out on the sand maybe twice a week just to get some touches on the ball. Carrie's in California. She has 3 kids, so she's learning how to be a teacher and homeschool them. So she's pretty busy doing that. And we'll keep in touch over the next month, 2 months, and if we need to or want to, Carrie will come down here to Florida to get some practice in, and we just can only take it day by day. We don't know what's going on, which is it's hard because we want to know, we want to plan, but for now we can only take it one day at a time, and we'll stay sharp however we can.
I'm guessing in Lauderdale and in some beaches in California, when you walk on the beach, they know who you are. But this isn't like, it's not like you're Serena Williams, the best tennis player in the world, where you're instantly recognized everywhere. So I am curious, has there ever been a point, whether when you were at FGCU or any time in your professional career, when you and whether it's your partner now or someone else have ever walked to the beach and there's a couple of guys that think they're good playing beach volleyball and you've just cleaned their clock to make yourself smile?
We've wanted to do that several times. We have our sport out in California that we practice on every morning, and sometimes we get there and there's guys there playing that think they're good, and we have to ask them to move, and they give us a little attitude sometimes, but I think they recognize Carrie and then they gladly move. But we'd be happy to play off for a court if we have to.
Oh, that's so polite of you.
And it really is. Well, I had an old friend, David, in Brooke, that was a buddy of mine that I grew up with. His aunt was a professional pool player. When I was in college, I always wanted Ava to show up at one of the bars we hung out at and just throw quarters up on the table and let her play for 3 or 4 hours, because the look that she would get from guys. Oh, I'm going to beat this lady. And I just thought, that was in my head, Brooke, of you and Carrie just walk into, well, you guys want to play? How about we play for $20? And, and just humiliate them. And I just think that would be so fun to watch from the sidelines.
Well, and Mark, Brooke's husband's a pro volleyball player as well. I mean, the two of them in a month or so here, when things open up, could just sashay down to the beach, and they could just be ringers all day.
That's a good idea. I'm not making any money right now, so
start hustling these guys on the beach a little bit, Brooke.
I will. I'll tell him you told me to.
Brooke, be safe, and all the best to you and your family, and best of luck in the future, and hopefully we can keep in touch.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Brooke.
You bet. Brooke Sweat, an Olympian in 2016, teaming with Carrie Walsh Jennings, hoping to be an Olympian again, only now it will be sometime in 2021.